Hitachi has told it will halt job on a much £1 billion UK nuke draft since of growing expenses. The judgment puts thousands of jobs at hazard if the £13 billion factory at Wylfa Newydd in Anglesey, Polar Wales, is utilised. The Japan company had been in negotiations in the UK by the government with June on financing for the draft, that was creature constructed by its Skyline affiliate. The government told it had unsuccessful to accept regulation in Hitachi. The nuke production told it was frustrating. Hitachi told it would as well halt job on else website, in Oldbury in Gloucestershire, before a decision can be found. On 9,000 workers had been anticipated to be implicated in house the two nuke reactors, that were due to be operative by the medium 2020s. Hitachi told the judgment would price it an alleged 300 billion yen, pound, as emergency losses. It told it was suspensive the draft of the point of view of its economical rationale as a individual company. Hinckley, Moorside, Wylfa, Oldbury, Bradwell and Sizewell were identified as the sites for the largest considerable domestic wavelength of new nuke force building everywhere in the planet. Of such 6, just 1 is by building, 3 include been neglected, and 2 person and heavy fight to get the verdant lighting. By such occasion you might believe the government would be confused how its power politics was in turmoil. But it's no. The crash of the Wylfa and Oldbury projects present, next the refusal of Moorside, is testimony of several new economical realities how include seen by the government passion for new nuke wither. The at first and largest evident is the price of house the men things. The Nuke Production Associate says the UK has 6 sites how are licensed to construct new nuke force stations and 8 sites how are now generative force. Yet, it told how just 1 of the 8 now operational are due to be in use by 2030. The GMB Association alerted of an power meltdown. Duncan Hawthorne, head execution of Hitachi's Skyline affiliate, told the Anglesey website remained this top website for nuke growth in the UK and how the business would hold the stock option to restart growth in next. The new nuke factory had been designed to include a generative power of 2,900 MW and include a 60-year operative lifetime. The judgment puts the UK's nuke politics by crisp study. A representative for the Division for Industry, Power and Industry Policy, BICE, told, as the Industry Secretariat Greg Clark set out in June, any transactions as necessary to present importance for cash and be the order one for UK consumer and taxpayers in spite wide talks and difficult job by all sides, the government and Hitachi are incapable to achieve treaty to begin at the phase. The division added how the earth was belonging by Hitachi, that had specified it willing to hold property time it debated next options in by the government. Dark Industry Secretariat Rebecca Length Bailey told the government's nuke policy was now lie in rag and had escalated in a complete blown meltdown. The news story was welcome in terror by the Nuke Production Associate. Tom Greatrex, head execution of the Associate, told it was frustrating, not fair for the Wylfa Newydd draft but for Anglesey and the nuke production as a entire. This immediate requirement for future new nuke power in the UK should not be undervalued, in all but one of the UK's nuke force seedling due to go autonomous by 2030. Justin Bowden, the GMB Association's Domestic Secretariat for Power, told the judgment grown this really actual perspective of a UK power meltdown. Time the government has had its chief up its common backside above Brexit. Urgent matters love ensuring the nation's next power delivery seem to include lost by the roadside. The CBI outlined the news story as a considerable strike to the UK's next power delivery plans. Matthew Bringdown, the CBI's head UK politics CEO, told, this the government has to show it is devoted to meet our environment changing targets by support new cheap carbon force delivery. This losing of new nuke projects could keep us more than hard dependent in the length run on fossil embers, that could hazard our juridically mandatory environment targets. The government says it has a band of options for meet next power consumer demand, consisting renewable energy, store, interconnectors, new nuke and more than. If the Wylfa Newydd draft is utilised, It foliage the Hinkley Spot Force plant in Somerset as the just new UK pile yet creature constructed. Down there are plans for new seedling at Bradwell and Sizewell, but no one is now by building. The UK and Japan main ministers met over the monthly and Theresa May told she had grown the question in her copy.